everyone, it's Kate Walker from The Incredible Canine. I want to give you a little quick tip about the recall. Most often people need to call their dog when they are chasing after a squirrel or running toward that car that's coming in the driveway, or they're chasing the leaves, or they're loose, like they just ran out the house door and now they're loose in the yard. So if we want our recall success rate to be high, meaning every time I call my dog they come, we can't only practice in those really difficult moments, because it's more likely that your dog won't come if that's the only time you ever practice it, because it's not habit and routine for them. So the little tip that I have for you is just that you practice calling your dog more often when they are in more neutral behavior. So choose wisely, choose when you call your dog, and I'll pay attention to a dog's behavior, and as they switch to a more neutral behavior, that's when I practice the recall. If they switch to a less neutral behavior, I may wait a couple seconds until they switch again. And this is just casually when I'm hanging out with the dog in the house or in the yard, is when I'm practicing the recall like this, maybe 10 to 20 times a day. So purposely choose wisely when you call your dog, and call your dog more often when they are in more neutral behavior. I'll show you a bunch of examples of this with dogs. Here the boxer is not as neutral just because he's searching around on the ground for some food. Here the Rottweiler is digging, so she is not as neutral. The boxer is still searching, so he's not as neutral. Here the boxer is pretty neutral. The Rottweiler in the back is also pretty neutral. Now the boxer is not as neutral. The Rottweiler is not as neutral. This searching behavior, oh, there she's more neutral, now she's less. Now she's more neutral. She's not neutral when she's eating something. Here when the truck goes by, the boxer is really watching the truck, so he's not as neutral. When your dog is focused on something, it's going to be a little bit higher challenge to recall them. She looks pretty neutral here. So it would be easier to recall her if she's more neutral. Now she's not as neutral as she eats this clump of snow. It can actually be difficult to recall a dog while they are going to the bathroom. But now he's pretty neutral. It would be easy to recall him now. She looks pretty neutral. Now not as neutral. Here the dogs are playing, so the energy is higher. And while they're chasing each other like this, they're definitely not as neutral. So it's a little bit more difficult to recall a dog while they're chasing. Here they're still playing, but the energy is lower. And in general, they're pretty neutral here. This would be a good time to practice the recall. The Rottweiler's following a trail there. So energy's a little higher, but they're pretty neutral, just moving around. Here they're pretty neutral. Yeah, this would be an easy moment to practice the recall for either dog. So, the whole point here is just to point out times when dogs are a little more neutral and when they're a little less neutral. Here, they're pretty neutral. So I could practice a recall and I could call them over to me while we're out on this walk. There isn't a deer running by and there aren't squirrels, but we just need to practice the recall more often in less challenging environments. All right, everybody, that is all for now. Have an incredible day. Bye.